Hi everyone, welcome to today's video. So today's video we're going to be doing the game of the year, or my game of the year, for the Nintendo Switch. So I think we've had quite a good year really. We've had obviously the Crisis remaster that came to the Switch. We eventually got the Doom Eternal port that came to the Switch. Animal Crossing came out in March, which was just a huge game on the Switch. We had Vigor that came to the Switch. So, there's 4 games there that's, quite a lot of hours gone into those games. So I kind of looked and played all of those games. Those were my kind of 4 on the short list. Number 5 was Immortals Phoenix Rising. The reason that's not maybe considered for my game of the year is just because it came out a little bit too late. I haven't been able to put the same amount of hours in that I have with those 4 other games. So out of those 4, kind of crossed Animal Crossing off because it's just not really my sort of game, to be honest with you. I really enjoyed it, put a lot of hours in, but it's not really my sort of game. So I kind of didn't want to give it to Game of the Year. Doom, just another incredible port. I mean, you can't really fault what they're doing with that. I mean, I'm glad they waited just a little bit longer to make sure it was right, to make sure they released it without any bugs. The last thing we want is a port coming across and having loads and loads of bugs. Crisis, again, another fantastic port coming over to the Switch, another great shooter. Let's not compare it to obviously on other consoles, on the PC. It's another great port coming over to the Switch. But my game of the year is Vigor. So a lot of people talked about it when it first came out. So a lot of videos on the game. And that's my game of the year. So if you stay around for the video, I'm going to put on some gameplay. I'm going to talk about why I gave it my game of the year. So stay around for that video. Thanks a lot for clicking the video. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. And let's make a start with some gameplay.
So if you're not aware of what Vigor is, it's a multi-platform release that came out on the Switch earlier this year. It's an apocalyptic loot shooter based in Norway. Now it's a free-to-play game, and I haven't had any reason to actually spend any money on the game. If you want to spend money, you can buy tokens to unlock various new outfits and things like that, but there isn't necessarily any reason to actually spend any money on the game, and I personally haven't invested any extra money onto the game. So when you're playing the game, the more that you loot, the more that you unlock. So the more food you get, or the more tools and weapons you get, you can sell them for crafting parts, and then you're able to actually spend that money on crates, or the more food you collect, you can then spend that on crates, and you're aiming to try and build up your base to get as much food and generate as much power as you possibly can to then make sure you get the best weapons on the game. If you watch my review of the game, you'll know that one of the reasons I like it so much is that you're not necessarily forced to fight anyone. You can actually just sneak around the levels that you choose to play to loot as much as possible, and you can avoid any kind of encounters, which I think is just a really fun aspect, kind of like a hide and seek sort of mode. Some people play the game to just try and get as many kills as possible, but I know a lot of people that just try and loot as much as possible and avoid any encounters that they can. Now graphically, you can see from this gameplay here, it's not an amazing, really powerful, graphically powerful game, but I still think it looks okay when you're playing. I haven't experienced any bugs. I mean, I don't know how many games I've played, but I've probably maybe had to reset twice, maybe 3 times. So I haven't experienced any bugs. And obviously you can see from yourself graphically what it looks like to play as well. So I've included some of my favorite encounters, some of my favorite kills from the game that I've been playing a lot this year. One of the really fun things about the game is there are ways that you can unlock certain items to be able to find the other Outlanders when you're playing, but they don't appear on the map unless you have specific items, and you can get jammers as well to stop yourself showing up on the map. So you're really having to go a lot on sound. You're having to listen to footprints in the snow or in the water. You're having to really listen out for where the gunfire is coming from. So that hide and seek element is a really, really fun way to play the game, and I've really enjoyed that part of the game where you're not looking at the map to try and find people. You're looking at the map to try and find the nearest exit, or maybe you're going for the airdrop and you're trying to make sure you plan that best way to get the airdrop and escape. So there's a lot of planning when you play the game as well. I hope you really enjoyed seeing some gameplay and some of the reasons behind choosing Vigor as my game of the year for the Nintendo Switch. I know not everyone's going to like it, but it's just my opinion. You heard my top 5 shortlist, so I will discuss some of them games later on as well this year. I'm going to do some more reviews for those 5 games. So let me know in the comments below which was your favourite game of the year on the Nintendo Switch. Thanks a lot for watching the video. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe to help the channel to grow, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Thanks a lot everyone.